So I watched the new Mortal Kombat movie, and warning, if you are not a fan of Mortal Kombat, do not go see this movie. If this movie, okay, I'm gonna do a spoiler free, but it's gonna be incredibly short because this movie is, if you're not a fan, you're not gonna really get what's going on. The action would still be cool, but if you're a fan of Mortal Kombat, this movie is everything you could want. It's everything you could want. It's I like was so happy and excited with this movie during in the theater. I kept leaning over to Ariel and being like, "Oh my god, that's the oh my god. Are they really about to they're referencing, they're talking about, dude, oh my god, this movie was so much fun. This is probably the most fun movie that I've seen in a while." So this is all spoiler free stuff, but basically, look, this movie and the first one that I did end up reviewing actually back in December, these movies aren't great films. When it comes to the way that like continuity, like for example, this isn't a spoiler, but there will be characters fighting, and say a character gets knocked down on the ground, and then it cuts to a character witnessing the fight, and then it'll cut back to the fight, and the guy that was literally a split second ago we just saw on the ground, he's standing back up. But who cares? The action is fucking great. This movie, like, these movies are incredible films where if you're a film critic, you're going in and you're going to be like, well, that's an inconsistency. That doesn't make sense. Even if you don't know Mortal Kombat. But if you're a fan, you're getting everything that you're asking for. And it's fucking amazing. This movie was so much fun. I was just loving every single second of it. They know what you're here for, and they cut out anything, literally anything that you don't care about. Like, I'm not even kidding you. Like I said, somebody will be on the ground and then it'll cut back to them and they're standing up. Why would we show you the guy standing up? You don't want to see that. You don't need to see him standing up. Just assume he stands up. In that split second, he got up. We're not wasting a single frame on any bullshit that we don't want to see or care about. And I love it. I absolutely love it. So we're going to jump into spoiler stuff, okay? Because, God, this movie is so much fun. I am so happy. Actually, before I do spoiler stuff, I wanted to say, going in here, as you can see last week, I just covered Obsession. But the week before that, I forgot when this will be coming out. But the week before that, I reviewed The Boys Season 5. Carl Urban as Johnny Cage, I saw in the trailers and I immediately said, no. Carl Urban does not fit Johnny Cage's description. I know that he is playing an older version of Johnny in this movie, but still, I just didn't think Carl Urban fit the look or the personality of Johnny Cage. And it's not necessarily because Carl Urban's a bad actor. It's just some characters you can't see. I just couldn't see Carl Urban, especially because we had just watched The Boys. He's Butcher to me, and it's not fair, but Carl Urban forever will be Billy Butcher from The Boys, no matter what he's in. If he's doing a serious role, a romantic role, a comedic role, it doesn't matter. He's Billy fucking Butcher. So it's hard for me to suspend my disbelief for Carl Urban to be Johnny Cage. For spoilers, I didn't like Johnny Cage in this movie, and I'm sorry, and I know that that's probably shitty, but, like, I think that Johnny was probably the worst part of this movie, and that doesn't necessarily mean that I didn't enjoy it. I just think that a lot of time when he's on screen, I wanted to see the other characters doing more. But anyway, so this is how this movie starts, okay? We are on the we start out with Katana as a kid. They show and basically do a little scene between King Jared and Katana as a young girl, which, mind you, King Jared is never been a playable character in the game, but they still have him in here. He was the king of Edenia before. Okay, look. I don't play a lot of fighting games. I'm not a fighting game guy. Mortal Kombat is my fighting game, though. I love the lore, and I love the story, and I know that they've been going on since the 80s, and there's a lot of jank and a lot of throwaway characters, but there's a lot of great stuff in the story of Mortal Kombat. So having King Jared in a movie, when he literally, I don't think, I'm not even kidding, and I could be wrong about this because, I'm not perfect on my lore of Mortal Kombat. I don't think King Jared has almost ever been on screen in any Mortal Kombat game. So having him in here, it's like, dude, that they care so much. You already tell. I leaned over to Ariel and I said, this dude is never been playable, and this dude has almost never been on screen. He might have been in a couple flashbacks, maybe, but that's like it. So anyway, Shao Kahn shows up and he ends up fighting King Jared and killing King Jared and taking over Edenia. It's a good fight. It's a good opening. He gets a good fatality. And one thing I want to say, I fucking love Shao Kahn as a villain, dude. He's so fucking cool. The hammer is so cool. I don't know why. I love this guy, man. He's annoying as fuck to fight in the games, but dude, he as a character has so much weight. He's a big, beefy, huge guy just like me. And like the hammer, the thing I love what they do in this movie with the hammer is this movie has so much weight. And what I mean by that is when Shao Kahn is swinging his hammer, right? He's trying to hit people, and like Shao Kahn's hammer isn't special to him. It's not like Thor in the MCU where only he can use it. Like the other characters in this whole movie are like, he'll try to throw it at them and they'll like kick it back and it'll trip Shao Kahn, and it's so cool because it's just a hammer, so of course it's gonna work against him. There's a moment in the fight with King Jared and Shao Kahn where he goes to stab King Jared and he slams it into like this statue, right? And it gets stuck, and King Jared like does like one of those like spins where he does like a backflip and he like does a kick or whatever. It's super cool. But like I'm glad like other characters in this movie use the hammer against Shao Kahn, and it's so fucking cool. But anyway, King Jared, I mean, he puts the work in, but Shao Kahn obviously is not gonna lose. The mask looks fucking great, the helmet looks great. And he ends up killing King Jared and makes everybody in Edenia kneel. And then we cut 2 years later and there's adult Katana sparring or fighting against Jade, who is essentially her bodyguard. Jade is fucking great in this movie. I'm just gonna say now, Katana is great in this movie. This movie, even though this movie basically, all of this movie showed Carl Urban as Johnny Cage and showed a lot of Johnny Cage in the trailers. This movie, after seeing it, is undoubtedly Katana's movie. It starts off with her and the realm that she is basically a princess to, getting overtaken by Shao Kahn. And then by the end of the movie, again, this is spoiler, so if you haven't seen the movie, it's fucking amazing. It's so much fun. It's so enjoyable to watch. But she ends up being the one to beat Shao Kahn and ruling Edenia. So I don't know why the trailers show Johnny Cage so much, because in my opinion, he's probably the weakest part. But like, it's her movie. So when she's on screen, she's doing great. She's doing great. The fighting is so much fun. The choreography is great. They do really cool shit. They show off they do a Chekhov's hair ribbon where she gets it from her dad in the beginning and then she takes it from his dead body, and then we cut to the future, whatever. Basically Jade showed Katana everything that she knows. Jade is a great character, and I like what they did where she's Katana's bodyguard, but she's originally sworn to Shao Kahn, which will eventually she'll flip later, which is it's great setup. I'm just gonna say this now: the whole time Katana is actually helping out Raiden fight against Shao Kahn, because of course Katana is not gonna help Shao Kahn. But there's 2 plots in this movie. There is the 10th Mortal Kombat tournament, which basically, if the Outworld wins, or if Shao Kahn wins this, he will basically be able to invade and destroy Earthrealm. And then you have the Shinnok's amulet, baby. They got Shinnok's amulet, bro. Like, they're paying attention to the games, and they're taking shit that's so cool and they're using it. But basically, there's Shinnok's amulet, where they realize that Shinnok's amulet allows you to take God's power and hold it. And so there's 2 plots. They're obviously intertwined. They're trying to take Shinnok's amulet and get Raiden's godly power and give that power, not necessarily the electricity, but the god being of being a god. They're trying to take that from Raiden and give it to Shao Kahn, which will allow him to win the 10th tournament, which will allow him to invade Earthrealm. So they're intertwined, but there's, some characters will be fighting in the tournament while other characters are fighting, but they're fighting for the amulet. And it's obviously, like I said, intertwined, but it's 2 separate plots that are important to each other. We start off with that whole Katana Outworld Edenia thing, and then we jump to Sonya and Raiden and are basically our main cast, which of course, you know, they don't have all of the Earthrealm warriors, but they have the ones from the original movie. So it's Raiden is guiding everybody, but it's Liu Kang, Cole. We'll get into him in a minute. We'll get into him from the first movie, Cole. But Liu Kang, Cole, Jax, Sonya, and then we have one more person, and it's shocker, Johnny Cage. So anyway, we see a 80s style action movie, and it's Johnny Cage from when he was in his prime, and then now he's like an old man who is like looked over, nobody's coming to get his autographs, whatever, and then you know, he's putting stuff in his car after his like meet and greet of getting zero fans, and Raiden and Sonya show up. They try to convince him to go with them because he is a warrior to fight for Earthrealm, and he's like, "Yeah, no, I'm not going to be in your fan film. I don't want to be in it." Which this part bothered me. It didn't bother me because, of course, again, this movie's cutting out all the bullshit that we don't want to see, like convincing Johnny Cage to come and fight. But he's like, "I'm not going to be in your short film," and then Raiden's like, "There's a blue portal." And Johnny's like, and walks into it. So if these were fans, right, and they wanted you in a fan film, you're not going to do that. But this dude opens up a blue electricity portal and you just walk in it. It's like, what's your thought process, bro? Anyway, he walks in, he gets teleported to Raiden's temple where Jax is fighting, or Jax, Liu Kang, and Cole are all fighting with each other. Like I said, Sonya and Raiden are together, so they're obviously not fighting. But those three are training, and Johnny Cage sees all of them fighting with their powers, and Liu Kang's shooting fire, and Cole's using his stupid fucking ability, and then like Jax has his big metal arms just like me, and then sorry, that joke is gonna get so old, and I'm gonna fucking milk it every possible opportunity that I literally can. But and so then Johnny is like, "Oh, I don't want in, brother. You walked in a blue electricity portal, and you're gonna now decide that you don't want in. Why did you walk in the first place? You needed to see it to believe it, but then you saw it, and now you don't want a part of it." It's like, dude, what are we doing? But anyway, he chooses to leave, and fine. Okay, that's cool. Now I'm going to just basically breeze through the rest of this movie because it's mainly just set up in character fights, and it's so good. Anyway, so we start out with the characters are basically teleported into an arena, whatever, and so they're standing around kind of waiting, talking about the plot things and whatever, and Johnny goes back to the bar and he's drinking. He's watching these videos of when he was like a black belt in karate or whatever. So it's basically setting up, hey, Johnny knows how to fight, and just because he chose this career of an actor doesn't mean he doesn't know how to hold his own. We also get a motherfucking Ed Boon cameo as the bartender, the guy who made the 1980s Mortal Kombat game. Fucking awesome. So yeah, he's in the movie. That was great. I basically did a backflip in the theater when I saw him because I was like, holy shit, that's so cool. But so he's there drinking, and everybody's around in Raiden's temple. Everybody that I mentioned: Jax, Liu Kang, Cole, and Raiden. And Sonya as well. And then Sonya, like, she gets a blue glow, and then she gets teleported. And then they're like, wait, why didn't anybody else get teleported? And then you're like, oh shit, okay, Johnny's gonna get teleported because if Liu Kang, Cole, and Jax didn't get teleported, then, you know what I mean? Then that means it was Johnny because they did them in 2-fight increments or whatever. And this movie does it well. Throughout this entire movie, both Earthrealm and Outworld are even when it comes to like fighters. So like, for example, one realm will lose, and then, you know, obviously the other realm has to win, and then in the other fight, it'll be the opposite. So that way it's like 4v4, then 3v3, then 2v2, then 1v1. You know what I mean? So it always is equal for stakes and tension and whatever. But so we get Johnny versus Katana. Oh, dude. They were using. I love this movie because they're using shit from the games. Katana has the cool fan blades, and she's talking shit to Johnny. And again, I told you at this point, it's not explained that Katana's actually on Earthrealm side, but she essentially has to make it look real, so that because Shao Kahn is watching, so she has to make it look like she's on Outworld side in order to fool Shao Kahn. So she's whooping Johnny's ass. She's throwing the fucking thing. She's doing the cool, like, opening the blades and, like, throwing them, and they're, like, spinning. And, oh, it's so fucking cool. Johnny's doing, like, cool, like, dodges and shit, doing cool shit. And then at a certain point, he's like, oh, shit, I need to lock in. And this is a problem that I have that I will get into in a minute. But he's not winning. I'm not saying that Johnny is winning against Katana because she is actively shown to be training while Johnny is 30 years out of his prime. But he's able to duck and dodge and defend himself a little bit. And then Katana's doing, like, cool shit where she's, like, grabbing onto her fan blade and then, like, doing spins and then, like, jumping in the air where, like, gravity doesn't exist, but who fucking cares? It's so cool. And then she beats the shit out of Johnny, and he stands up. And it's so fucking cool because even Ariel catched it. If you're, like, a slight fan of this game, you'll enjoy this movie. But if you're not a fan at all, don't see it. But anyway, she, like, whoops the shit out of him, and he stands up, and he's like this. He's, like, wobbling like the games when you know, and Shao Kahn goes, finish him. And Katana stands there, and she decides against it. So Johnny's wobbling, and just like the games, if you wait too long, he just falls backwards and lands on the ground. And it's like, I'm like, dude, they get it. They get the fucking thing. That's the problem is, and the problem with video game adaptations is I understand that video games don't exactly adapt one-to-one to film and TV because you're trying to do a different thing. In video games, the player is immersed in the story because they are the character. When you're watching movie or TV, you feel like you're watching something. You know, you can also say that with video games as well, but that's the point of playing a game is, you know, like I recently just played Red Dead 2. You are not Arthur Morgan outside of the screen, but Arthur is doing everything that you choose to do, all of your options, so you feel much more integrated. You have control of the characters, where with movie and TV, you don't. But I feel like with a lot of video game adaptations to either movie or film, they try to do their own thing, and it's like, for example, I tried to watch the Halo TV show. I'm a huge Halo nerd. I love the shit. I love it more than anything. It's my favorite video game franchise of all time. The Halo TV show, they actively said, we're trying to reach a new audience of people who might like Halo. Yo, motherfucker, you have an already established group of people who like Halo. The people who will be tuning into your show because it's named Halo. The Halo fans. So why are you trying to reach a new audience when you already have one? And that's what I like about this movie, is that it's not necessarily trying to make people fans of Mortal Kombat, it's trying to appeal to the fans of Mortal Kombat. And so that's why when he's wobbling, or he falls backwards, or the finish him, or that stuff is like, if you play the games and you're a fan, it's like the Leo meme, the like pointing at the screen, hey, I get it. And it's so much fun. Anyway, I'm already 20 minutes in. Motherfucker, I didn't even get to... Okay. So that's the Johnny and Katana fight. Johnny basically gets teleported back to Raiden's temple or some bullshit, whatever, who cares? He gets out of there. And then it's Sonya versus Sindel. So glad to see Sindel. She doesn't get a lot of love. One thing I gotta say, she died a little easy. In the game, Sindel is a fucking beast. She kills a lot of our main cast in MK9 and MK10. Those characters are revenants and they end up getting revived. But MK9 Sindel is a fucking problem. In this one, she is resurrected, I'm pretty sure similar to MK9. But yeah, Sonya ends up beating her in a pit trap area, which it's really cool. They, you know, the choreography's fun. You know, Sonya's doing her sonic blast things, and it's really cool. But yeah, she ends up killing Sindel, which Sindel ends up getting revived anyway, because it was explained that she was revived in the first place, so she's kind of already undead. But yeah, Sonya wins her battle, and then boom, we're back in Raiden's temple. Okay. So, I'm gonna move forward. I'm pretty sure Kano gets resurrected by Quan Chi. Cool. I don't love Kano. I think he's funnier than Johnny in this movie, in my opinion. And he kind of serves as a way to help the good guys in the end, but like, I don't know. Don't really care. Quan Chi in this movie, I like what they're doing with him. Don't know why his head is so big. It's like they added like a bunch of shit so that like if he turns to the side, his head comes out to here, but like when he's looking straight on, he just looks normal and bald and whatever. Glad that Quan Chi's in this movie. Also, Shang Tsung is back, which he was the villain in the first one, but Shao Kahn is essentially using Shang Tsung, to get what he needs. They get the Shinnok amulet. Also, we get revenants in this movie. Dude, okay. I wish that he looked a little cooler, but in the first movie, if you watch the first movie, they killed Kung Lao. Kung Lao in the games always kind of gets bodied and is kind of like the butt of the joke. Essentially, think of Liu Kang as Goku and think of Kung Lao as Vegeta, right? Usually, Kung Lao is going to get his ass beat even though he spars with Liu Kang consistently. He gets his ass beat and then Liu Kang comes in to save the day. That's kind of Kung Lao. Jesus Christ. That's kind of Kung Lao's thing. But in the first movie, he ends up dying. In this one, he's resurrected as a revenant. Oh my god, it's so cool. When they showed the hat and they said the Quan Chi and the revenant, I was like, Ariel, you don't even understand how much I'm about to bust. That's insane. I'm sorry. But it's so fucking good. Anyway, so after those two fights, Kung Lao shows up at Raiden's temple, right? And he doesn't have the hat on. And they're like, Kung Lao, what the hell? What's happening? Raiden is like, Kung Lao, like, what happened to you? How are you back or whatever? I wish the Revenants look a little cooler. It just looks like regular Kung Lao with eyeshadow underneath to show that he's a Revenant. But like in MKX, he had like glowing orange veins and his eyes were orange and he had like this really cool hat. And I just wish they kind of took that look, but I get it. Some parts of this movie look a little cheap, but I'm not hating. I'm just saying there's another character that I'll mention, Baraka, that looks a little bad. But like Revenant Kung Lao is cool, but he's talking and his fucking hat comes through the window, busts through and slices open Raiden's throat, and all of his like light energy is everywhere, and Shang Tsung shows up with Shinnok's amulet and he grabs the fuck out of, he's like slurping all that slurp juice out of Raiden, and it's super cool. But like and then the second round of fights start. So I can't remember exactly, they basically take the thing back, the Shinnok's amulet, and they put it on Shao Kahn's chest, and now he's fucking like super powered Shao Kahn. He's basically MK9 final boss challenge Shao Kahn, like, you know what I mean? And so so then the next round of fights is Jade and Jax versus Cole and Shao motherfucking Kahn, my motherfucking goat. So, here's my problem. The first movie, we don't need Cole. There are plenty of characters in this franchise that are main characters. We don't need a human character that has a backstory and sympathy. Don't need all that. Actually, when Cole was talking to Johnny, when Johnny first showed up to Raiden's temple, he said, look, man, I'm fighting for Earthrealm. I got a daughter and wife at home, and I'm willing to never see them again if it means I have to protect them, whatever. The second he said that, I said, oh, buddy, I don't think you're gonna see him ever again, so I really hope you're not lying when you say you've come to terms with that. So, we get Jax versus Jade. I'm going to cover that one first, right? So this one is a lot of fun. Jade is really strong. She knows what she's like, not physically strong, but like as a fighter, her battle IQ is really strong, and they showed that off. She's really good. And Jax, she basically swings her pole, which again, they have the staff, and it's so fucking cool. I love this movie. It's so much fun, dude. It's so fun. Anyway, so they're fighting, whatever, and Jax like catches it, and then he tries to break it with his big metal arms, just like me. And he tries to break it, and it won't break, and he's like, damn, what the hell you got under there? And this is something that if you watch me long enough, or if I talk about enough movies, I love the use of momentum and physics, right? So he tries to break it and he can't, but he's still got a hold on it, and he's realizing, okay, this is her weapon, she's not gonna let go of it. So he grabs it with both hands and uses that to swing her. Like, he tries to swing her into a wall, and it's a really good fight. But basically, he like throws her off because she like loses her grip and hits the wall, and then he slams it into the ground. And because he's strong and the pole won't break, it's or this I guess it's a staff, it's like a bow staff, whatever. He slams it into the ground and now it's stuck. And now they're like fighting fist combat. She's like running off the wall and doing jump kicks and shit. And it's so fucking badass. And then, he like gets a hold of her and he throws her at the staff, and instead of it breaking, because again it's previously established that he can't break it, he throws her into it and uses her weight or throws her at it, and like she's sliding and she hits the pole and it hits her in the back, and it's just like, and then he basically spares her. And again, at this point, Katana is still technically like a villain, so he's like, oh, one of your guys spared our guy, so I'm going to spare you. So that way Jade is still alive, but Jax won the fight. But then we go to Shao Kahn versus Cole, and they're in the acid pits. And it's straight from the fucking game, and it looks so cool because all the acid's bubbling, and there's the meat hooks. It's so, dude, they cared about the game so much in this movie. I loved it. Then, so where Cole is doing his work, right? His stupid ass armor, it takes hits and it absorbs it and allows him to redirect it on some Black Panther shit because he's not original at all. And so he, he's kind of putting in his work, and he's cutting up Shao, and Shao's trying to like put hands on him and swing the hammer, but they're on like a narrow pathway. And then Cole actually gets pissed off and he slices Shao Kahn's throat, and it's like, oh fuck. And then it heals up because of the Raiden powers. And then Shao fucking slams him on his back. And no bullshit, bro. Over the head, fucking boom! Right on fucking Cole's head. And his shit blows up. And then Shao fucking just uses his foot or his hammer to like push him in the acid pit. And he just starts dissolving. And it's fucking... oh, this movie is so much fun. This movie is so much fun. So glad they killed that fuck-ass character, bro. Just give me Liu Kang. I don't fucking need it. I don't need the rest of the bullshit. So yeah, that's Cole dead. Who fucking cares? My boy Shao did his goddamn thing. Did I mention he's built just like me, bro? Oh, fuck. Okay. Anyway. So then we get the best fight. If you thought I was glazing the other ones, this fight... if you're enjoying the video so far, please consider throwing me a like. And if you like this kind of content, movie reviews, TV reviews, I also started recently doing reactions to different anime and stuff like that. So if you like that kind of stuff, maybe subscribe and maybe I'll do something that you enjoy. I actually have Gachi Yakuta coming out this Thursday. My second reaction to Gachi Yakuta coming out this Thursday. Also, I have a Discord if you want to join that. I have movie discussion, TV discussion, manga and comic discussion in there, and we talk about a lot of video games. I'm a big gamer and stuff, So, yeah, thank you for watching, and let's get back to the video. They teleport Kung Lao, and it's Revenant Kung Lao and They teleport Revenant Kung Lao and Liu Kang to this platform that's in like this ethereal space, right? This ethereal ass cool looking space, and they basically have some dialogue where Liu Kang's like, I'm sorry, brother, I wish that this didn't happen to you, like, you know what I mean, I can't believe they brought you back, kind of thing. And so they're talking, and Kung Lao is doing the coolest shit. I think Kung Lao has so much sauce in the games. He is honestly overlooked a lot, but some of the stuff that, like, his combos in MKX, oh my god, dude, the dive kick and oh, dude, it's so cool. Anyway, I know I'm talking about the game and not the movie. But anyway, they're having this conversation, and they get into this fight, dude. And I'm not even kidding. The Jax and the Cole and Shao Kahn fight, those were intertwined. Like, it would cut from one to the other to kind of keep the stakes and the tension on who was winning. This one, they let it rip. It's one fight from start to finish. And so Kung Lao and Liu Kang are boxing, and they're boxing. And Kung Lao is throwing his hat, and instead of catching it and then re-throwing it, it's coming through, and like it'll like they'll be fighting, like say you're fighting me, so this is your point of view and we're fighting, the hat will come out of like from over here through us, and they would both like dodge it and then go back in, and then it would come from a different direction, and it's like weaving in and out, and it's like you can see it in the background because like I said, they're in like a like an open space, so like they'll be fighting, and in the background, like say like where my bookshelf is, you'll see it go around and then come back through this way, and then it'll like come back through and then go around, and the camera's spinning, and they're putting hands on each other and blocking each other's shit, and it's so fucking cool, dude. It's so cool. I was losing my fucking mind in the theater, and like they're boxing and they're scrapping, and they're just doing cool shit, and like Liu Kang, like they're throwing like fireballs, and like there's a point where like Kung Lao throws his hat, and then Liu Kang throws a fireball so his hat catches on fire but it's still spinning, and he sends it back. Oh my god. And then they do another little bit of dialogue talking about the plot and stuff, but I'm not even worried about that. I mean, it's enjoyable. Like I'm not saying the dialogue is bad, but I was loving the fight. And then oh my god, because I love Kung Lao so much, he throws the hat right at Liu Kang, and Liu Kang goes to like dodges it, right, and he's looking at Kung Lao, and then Kung Lao teleports to the fucking hat, and he teleports to the fucking hat, bro. He teleports to the hat, and then Liu Kang reacts to it, and then he chucks it and then teleports again, dude. It's so fucking cool. Oh my god, dude. I'm fucking loving this movie, bro. I just talked about this shit for 30 fucking minutes. I need to cut a lot of this shit out. But anyway, Kung Lao throws the hat on the ground and it's spinning like the, you know, like like the fatalities usually would, where he'll pull people through, and he goes to do also there's no bicycle kick, which I'm okay with because he did the long like full screen kick that Liu Kang has, but they go to fight each other, and or like the hat spinning on the ground, and Kung Lao and punches Liu Kang, and Liu Kang goes flying back, but he grabs his arm and jumps over the hat and pulls Liu Kang onto the hat, and it rips up his insides, and he's like, I'll save you one day, brother, but not today. Oh my god, it's the best fight. It's the fucking best fight. Okay, anyway, now we're gonna jump. This is forward. Basically, their plan is they have to get into Shao Kahn's temple and get the amulet and kill Shao Kahn before the tournament is over because he's basically cheating. So they go to Outworld. Katana at this point is helping them, and they get to the Outworld and they get to the Tarkatan camp. This is where Baraka is, and this is where a lot of my problems are. Baraka is like a known warrior. Johnny Cage does some shit to kind of piss off Baraka because Baraka doesn't want to fight Liu Kang, and then Johnny Cage is like, oh, you're a big old pussy then. And then Baraka stops and he's like, all right, fine, I'll fight, but instead of fighting Liu Kang, I want to fight you. And then Johnny's like, oh, what? No, I didn't, no, not me, whatever. And dude, Carl Urban wants to slip into his accent so bad. There's me and Ariel talked about it. There are so many points where he almost slips into the Butcher accent, like so close. But anyway, this is my problem. So earlier on, he was holding his own against Katana. Again, not winning, but he wasn't getting his ass beat. This entire fight with Baraka, he's basically running away and is like good for nothing, just getting his ass beat. And then he is like about to lose, and then he puts on his cage glasses, and then all of a sudden he starts to beats up on Baraka, and he does this move, which, dude, I'm not a karate expert, but okay, tell me if you think, if you're trying to punch me, if this would stop you. Also, Baraka has razor sharp blades out of his arms, right? If I started doing this shit, right? If you're trying to fight me and I start doing this, do you really think that's going to stop you from hitting me? That's what Johnny does, which, mind you, they set it up earlier because he does it in his 80s movie that they show that he's watched or whatever. But he starts doing this and dodging or moving this shit out of Baraka's arms, and then he does a cool backflip and he does the nut punch, and it's cool. Okay, fine. And then Baraka respects him, and then he leads them into Shao Kahn's castle. Whatever. But this is the thing that I was saying is, he was doing okay against Katana. Why now all of a sudden is he getting his ass beat by Baraka, who's not nearly as trained as Katana is? So it's like, now all of a sudden he forgot how to fight, but until he puts on his Johnny Cage glasses, which is another fucking problem. Dude, I have so much to get through this movie. Okay. Anyway, Let me W key. Basically, they're in the Shao Kahn's fortress, and Liu Kang gets to try to fight Shao Kahn. It's another great fight. That's the moment when Shao throws the hammer and Liu Kang does his, like, I'm doing the moves as if you guys can see them because it's like, it's so fucking cool. But like, he kicks the hammer back at Shao, and Shao like actually gets hit by it and tripped by it. And Jax is here again. Oh, this is one thing I need to jump back just for a second. When I said earlier that this movie moves on and doesn't show you a frame of anything you don't give a fuck about, they go, wait, why? Where's Cole? Did he die? Anyway, we need to get outward. They literally don't give a fuck that Cole is dead. And I don't either. I don't give a fuck, but it's just funny how all these people were like, we're all of Earthrealm's defenders. We all we got. And then Cole dies and they're like, we gotta keep going. It's so funny. But so Jax, Liu Kang, and Sonya and Johnny are there. They're all fighting Shao Kahn, who again is super powered by Raiden. So he is putting belt to ass on basically most of them. Jax tries to break the amulet, but he's unable to. Somebody gets the amulet. I can't remember if it's Shang Tsung or Quan Chi or whatever, but they basically take it to, oh, it's Noob Saibot. Fucking goated. He looks so good in this movie. Noob Saibot takes the thing and runs with it to the Netherrealm. Jax and Liu Kang are fighting Shao Kahn. It's another, and Sonya as well, which Shao Kahn hits fucking Sonya with the shoulder dash where it has the green aura. Oh my god, I was so fucking hyped. Anyway, Jax he gets pinned up against the wall, and Shao is using the pointy end of his hammer, not the hammer part, and he actually stabs and kills Jax, which I thought that was fucking crazy because I was like, yo, they actually just killed Jax, and then this is what I'm saying. They just move on. Sonya's like, Jax, no! And then she gets teleported, and she never brings up Jax being dead again until the end of the movie, where she doesn't even mention Jax by name. They just go, let's go get our friends back. Whatever. Okay. So this is where it splits up. This is the final tournament part. It is Katana and Liu Kang versus Shao Kahn. And then also Raiden teleports Johnny and Kano to the Netherrealm to get the amulet, because again, they need to destroy the amulet in order to defeat Shao Kahn, because he's fucking godly at this point, right? So when they go to the Netherrealm, guess who's there? Fucking Scorpion, the goat. Everybody's excited. I need to hurry this up because it's going to be so long, and I'm so sorry. I don't want to waste your time, but I actually love this movie. Like, I had so much fun. Scorpion versus Noob Saibot is great. They use the shadow of Noob Saibot literally just like the games. It's Noob versus Scorpion, and then the shadow Noob versus Johnny and Kano, and he's putting belt to ass. It's so much fucking fun. It's so cool. At a point, Scorpion hits the double spear onto Noob Saibot, and Scorpion's pulling Noob in, and Noob shoots out his shadow clone so that he goes flying backwards, but his shadow clone gets cut in half, and he's like cut up the middle like in the games, and in the games you split in half like that. It's so fucking great, dude. It's so good. It's so good, dude. This Netherrealm fight, it's so fucking awesome. It's so great. And then I'm just gonna jump to the Shao. It's Liu Kang and Shao Kahn, and technically Katana is fighting for Outworld, so it's actually a 1v2. But Liu Kang loses and gets stabbed, and then turns into like a fire mist, and then Katana's like, no, I can't let this happen, and she swaps sides to Earthrealm side, so then it's a 1v1. Then she's actually losing to Shao Kahn, who is godified in Netherrealm. Kano, Jade, and Johnny end up destroying the amulet, and then Katana uses her Chekhov's hair tie and ends up getting one on Shao Kahn. She puts her blades in his fucking head and then opens them, and his head splits in three. It's so good! Oh, it's literally from the games. I loved it. I love this fucking movie. So we're gonna do Best Character Award. This one's hard as fuck. Oh, also, I didn't mention, Baraka looks kind of bad. It looks like a prosthetic on his face, and I get it that they're not trying to do a whole bunch of CGI for the characters specifically. Maybe they are, but like Baraka, but like when he's talking, it like looks weird. Like his jaw looks like it's a thing glued onto his face. It doesn't actually look like his jaw. But anyway, we're gonna do best character. This one's hard because fuck, man, this one's actually hard. I didn't think about this beforehand. It's Katana's movie, and she's hands down probably one of the best characters in it. But Liu Kang and Kung Lao, that fucking fight. It's Revenant Kung Lao. He's got so much aura and so much drip. I have to give it to him. I have to give him. So he's gonna be the best character award in this movie. But I kind of stopped doing this. Or like if I didn't remember, or if I remember, then I do it. But I'm gonna give this movie on my enjoyment factor like a 9 out of 10. Johnny ruins it a little bit. There's a point in NetherRealm where he's like they're about to lose, or like Noob Saibot has the amulet and he's basically trying to protect it, and Johnny on the ground again, his glasses fall off again, or not even again, they fall out of his pocket like they did against Baraka, and he pulls them out and he does the this thing where he goes, and they open, and then he puts them on, and then he gets his powers, which again, I don't like how the characters in this movie, or in these movies, the humans get powers from being a part of Mortal Kombat, and they have to like awaken their powers. No, fuck that. I don't like that. But the whole movie, they talk about Johnny Cage getting his powers, and he doesn't get it until the literal last second. He does a shadow kick, breaks the amulet, and then never uses them again. It's literally, I'm not even kidding, the last like 10 minutes of the movie. But yeah, I really tried to give Carl Urban as Johnny Cage a chance. I really did. I didn't like it. I didn't love it. But everything else in this movie is fucking so good. Anyway, let me know what your thoughts are on this movie. Am I glazing? Absolutely. Like I said earlier, these movies, if you try to look at them as a film aspect, like if you take the Mortal Kombat name out of it and like being like the Leo meme pointing at the screen, if you take all of that shit out and just look at it as a movie, it's probably not that great. But I'm a fan of the games. I saw Liu Kang versus Revenant Kung Lao. I got a great Jax. I got Shao Kahn putting belt to ass, shoulder checking Sonya, throwing his fucking hammer, swinging the shit around, breaking shit. I loved it. And I got Cole getting his head smashed in fatality style and getting kicked into the acid pit. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, I love this movie. Anyway, let me know what your thoughts are. Have a good day.